What's going on, guys? Skit Gaming here. In today's review, we're going to be taking a look at a large-scale tactical shooter that pushes the value of teamwork and communication above all else. It features battles between Russian, American, Canadian, and insurgent forces, and derives its name from a common element size in modern warfare. That's right, I'm talking about Squad. Just kidding, you read the title, and this is a Roblox channel, so we're stuck with Squad's great value cousin, Fireteam. Now, as somebody who spent the last 2 weeks in a country that looks like this, with people who do stuff like this, I feel uniquely qualified to tell you all about the ups and downs, the highs and lows, the adulations and desecrations associated with this game, of which there are many. First off, let's talk about the objective of the game. Whether you're wearing a Maple Leaf, AK, or Freedom Incarnate on your shoulder, the end goal remains the same: deplete all of the enemy's tickets. This can be done in 2 ways. First, you've got the control points. These will spawn in 4 locations when a round begins and need to be captured in sequential order. I'm still not sure how ownership of the points affects your tickets. From what I can tell, capturing a point gives your team 10 tickets and losing one takes away 20 tickets. Depending on how many you own, the enemy can hemorrhage tickets over time. The second way to deplete the enemy's tickets is to straight up kill them. They lose 1 each time they die, so if you can cause enough carnage, the points might not matter that much anyway. Now that we've established the objective of play, let's take a look at how to go about winning. Factions are organized into, you guessed it, fire teams. These teams contain up to 5 members who fill specific roles. Rifle teams typically have a team leader, an automatic rifleman or grenadier, and 1 to 3 riflemen. Machine gun teams are able to deploy with crew-served weapons like the 240 Bravo and PKM. Which role is the best? Well, through all my research and gameplay, I've come to the conclusion that if you want to take names and stack bodies, there's really only one way to go. Behold, the Virgin Standard Rifleman versus the Chad Casualty Producer. I've wiped out so many teams as a machine gunner that I'm probably a local legend in the Roblox Afghani mythos. The process is simple. When you see an enemy, or preferably multiple enemies, hold left click and watch as they turn into pink mist. Of course, the most effective strategies rely on good teamwork, and it cannot be overstated how important the team leader is for success. The best ones know how to formulate a strategy, communicate it to their team, and execute it violently. A decent team leader will at least keep your rally point topped off. The worst team leaders are irredeemably negligent. This usually happens when a new or inexperienced player decides to start up their own fire team and sees the TL option first. This guy won't talk to his teammates, doesn't know how to put down a rally point, and has a 50-50 chance to either hike to a remote edge of the map over and over, or run around with some other team the whole time. If you find yourself reporting to one of these TLs, your best bet is to leave while you're still ahead and join a different group. So, who's in Afghanistan? Well, we've got all the greats. Russia, the US, local insurgents, and, Canada. No, I did not know that they were there either. Anyway, depending on which country you play as, you get access to that country's standard issue equipment. Well, except for in Russia's case. They give you the option to equip optics, which we all know is entirely unrealistic. There aren't really any significant differences between the major powers, but as an insurgent, you basically get access to the Global Historical Firearms Museum for all of your armament needs. You can use Sterlings, MP40s, SCG-44s. Where did you get that? I want one. Scorpion machine pistols. Why would you use that? I wouldn't. FALs and G3s. But 99% of insurgents go with one of the million AK variants because I guess they just don't see enough of the most popular rifle in the world. Now, anybody who's accidentally touched the N key and blinded themselves knows that every player comes equipped with nods. Why, you the uncultured viewer might ask, would everyone get night vision? Because, I the knowledgeable teacher respond, this game has a day-night cycle, and let me tell you, night can be brutal if you don't know what you're doing. It's nearly pitch black, you can't aim with your nods on, and generally fighting and navigation just become a pain. I used to reside here, among the uninitiated solophiles, weeping and gnashing my teeth whenever the sun went down. Then, I learned how to use the IR laser, and the world suddenly made sense. Seriously though, I'm going to give you a quick crash course in night fighting so that you don't suck. In your loadout, make sure to fasten a laser to the right side of your weapon. When night falls, try to stay on the defensive around your points. This will force short to medium range engagements, perfect for your NVGs. When you spot an enemy, aim at him and click the laser on. Pop off a shot or two and immediately turn the laser back off. If you run around at night with your laser on, it'll serve as a beacon for your current location and field of view.
Uh-oh. Bad decision, Mark.
Only use it when you're about to take a shot. Repeat the process until the sun comes back up. Congratulations, you're better than most players at nighttime now. Now that we've gone to the game and examined a few strategies, I'm going to talk about some things that I think should be added. First off, a team leader vote kick feature. That way, you won't get stuck under some schmuck who has no idea what they're doing all game. One time, I met a TL who said he couldn't put down rally points because he didn't have a middle mouse button. He never stepped down from the TL spot, of course, so that Fireteam was useless for the entire round. A vote kick feature would act as a safeguard against people like him. Next, please add more maps. I'm old enough to remember when Fireteam had a different map that was all grassy and covered in hills, and one of the hills had a church on top and everybody ran RPGs for some reason. What happened to that? Running through the same Afghan village gets old after the 100th time. I mean, think about it. There are 3 different environments that just get repeated across the entire map. You're either running down a road, trying to decide if you should stay behind this little wall or go down the slope, hiking through a city, trying to avoid glancing at the streetlights and ruining your night vision, or sprinting headfirst through a dozen hedgerows and filling your lungs up with leaves. A new map would definitely spice things up a bit. Additionally, it'd be nice if current objectives and TL markers showed up on the compass. I think it'd be a good compromise between an arrow popping up for a few seconds, then disappearing, and a full-time minimap. Communication and navigation would become infinitely easier. 99% of fleshed out shooters have reload animations. Why doesn't this one? You can't say it's because you're emulating Squad, because Squad also has them, so what's the deal? I believe that adding vehicles would make this game. It would allow teams to travel around the map quicker, it would finally give a purpose to the anti-tank class, and it would introduce an obstacle that can't be immediately solved by just shooting it in the head. Why does the chat channel reset after you die? I rarely talk above the team level and it gets annoying when I have to toggle it every time. Medics are nearly useless. Once again, this differs from Squad, where any player can pick up an incapacitated comrade, so why is it different here? Incapacitation in Fireteam is pretty much a death sentence, and most people just reset their characters instead of letting the time run down. Injuries usually aren't a problem, because if you're getting shot, you're likely to die anyway. If you do manage to take a bullet and survive, you heal up good as new in a couple of seconds on your own. Maybe injuries could come with status effects, like bleeds or broken bones, and that's what the medics would be used for. This is the part of the video where I talk about all the bullet points that didn't fit anywhere in the script. Let's start with the gun models themselves. The weapons and attachments have some kind of geometric style that I find appealing. The optics especially show the polygons that went into building them, which I enjoy, but it feels a bit out of place when the rest of the game is generally designed to look more realistic. Also, the most surefire way to win a round is to have teams set up at every point, whether you're able to cap them or not. Once you take the current objective, the rest will fall like dominoes, and it usually ends the game. This gripe isn't about the game itself per se. I just despise the rush in the scope. It doesn't make any sense to come down from the top instead of the bottom, and then the point of impact not to be at the tip of the triangle. At least the way it glows at night is kinda cool. While we're on the topic of scopes and optics, make sure you use one. They are absolutely mandatory if you want to be able to fight past 100 meters, which kinda sucks because only the most modern guns can mount them. I love that we're able to find weapons from World War II but can't figure out how to weld optics onto them. Here I was thinking these insurgents were mechanical geniuses after seeing how they solved the AK attachment problem. In conclusion, Fireteam is a fun game and one of the more accurate milsims out there. The dependence on communication can be a real crutch when you're playing with randos, so I would recommend going in with a couple of friends for the best experience. There's only one map and the nighttime kinda sucks, but you get to enjoy moving around in a tactical manner to avoid getting headshot from who knows where. I rate Fireteam a... Smart, untrained Warn. 6 out of 10. Yo, editing Skit here. Sorry for the delay. I took a summer course that I started 2 weeks behind on, so I was pretty busy with that. Now school's gonna start back up, which is probably best for the channel. Shout out to the capybara Lil Aviator. I know you're here. As always, thank you all for watching the video, and I will see you all later. Skit Gaming, signing out. Goodbye.